Hello students. So last class we discussed in crop production and management about the introduction, types of crops and how we can implement the agriculture. So today class we are going to study about the agriculture practice by various methods. In today's class session we are going to discuss about crop based on season and what is agriculture practice and what are the steps involved in agriculture practice. So let us discuss about that. Crops based on life cycle. So it means the time taken to complete the life cycle. So based on that, the crops are divided into three types. So they are annual, biennial and perennial. So let us discuss each one. First, what is annual? Plant that perform the entire life cycle from seed to flower to seed within a single growing season. All root, stem and leaves of the plants die annually. So only the dominant seed bridges the gap between one generation and the next are called annuals. So here we are growing this crop for only complete the life cycle in only one season. So that is called annual. Here they given the examples are wheat, rice and corn. Next we move on to biennial. So these crops are two growing seasons to complete their life cycle. So biennial, the plant which require 2 years to complete the life cycle. So biennial, it means bi means 2. Okay, so the plant which require 2 years to complete the life cycle. First season, growth results in small rosette of leaves near the soil surface. During the second season, growth, stem elongation, flowering and seed formation upward followed by the entire plant will be dead. So after 2 years what happened? That particular plant will be dead. So the biennial crops where during the first year the plants store the food in the roots and in the second year the energy in the food is then used by the plant to produce fruits and seeds in the second season. Okay, so biennial it involves 2 seasons. The examples are carrot or biennials. Next one is perennial. So these plants live for more than 2 growing seasons and continue to produce seeds. Okay, the plants that persist for many growing seasons, generally the top portion of the plant dies back each winter and regrows the following spring from the same root system. So the example will be apple and banana. So these are the examples of perennials. Agriculture practices. So it includes the farmers take this huge responsibility of cultivation of crops to provide food to the entire population. So various tasks performed by farmers for crop productions are termed as agriculture practices. So to maintain these agriculture practices, the farmer will what? The farmer will take the huge responsibility to maintain this task. So what and all the task which is enlisted here. Okay, for the agriculture practices, the tasks are enlisted below for one crop production. So the preparation of soil, selection and sowing of seed, manuring, irrigation, weeding, protection of crop, harvesting, threshing and winnowing, storage. So these are the tasks for the farmers to do in an agricultural practice. To cultivate a crop, they need this practice to do the agriculture work. In the agricultural practices, the preparation of the soil will be the first task to the farmer to accomplish. So the preparing the soil so that it can support the crop cultivation is the first step towards agriculture. The way you need to prepare before exams, similarly soil needs to be prepared before planting crops. So the activity involves in preparation of soil like ploughing, leveling and watering. Okay, so these are the activities will be done at the time of preparation of soil. The activities which prepare the soil, it includes ploughing. So first we discussed about ploughing. So ploughing is another term we call that as a tilling. Why? Because ploughing is like loosening and turning of soil. So it is very important activity due to the following reasons. Okay, so in the ploughing method what we are doing, we turn over the soil and we are making the furrow. Why we need a furrow? Where you can insert the plant seed. Okay, so this will be the ploughing machine you can see. Okay ma. In ancient times, the plough can be pulled by bullock or by animals like horses. The farmers were dependent upon the animals like bullock and horses. But nowadays, the modern agriculture include this ploughing method, which is held by with the tractor. So the tractor driven the cultivator, which saves the time and labor too. Ploughing is very important activity due to the following reasons are: it makes the soil hairy, so it allows the roots to breathe easily. It helps root to grow deeper into the soil. Loosen soil also roots to penetrate better into the soil. And here you can see enable fertilizers to mix uniformly with the soil. Encourage organisms such as earthworm, millipede, bacteria and fungi to increase in number. You know earthworm is the farmer friend, isn't so? So the more air soil promote growth of microbes and earthworm, which in turn improves the soil fertility. So only we are seeing the organisms like earthworm, millipedes, bacteria and fungi to increase the yield. Earthworm casting contain nutrients useful for plant growth. Microbes decomposes dead organisms and release nutrient. So here the soil fertility is also get improved. Nutrient-rich soil is made available to plants. Next step after the ploughing include leveling. So leveling is flattening of the soil after puddling. So leveling is done with a leveler. So after ploughing, what happened? The field is leveled using a wooden or an iron lever. Leveling is the field which prevents the loose soil from being eroded with wind or water. So it also ensures uniform irrigation. So for the uniform irrigation, we need a method called leveling. Okay, so leveling is like what? Flattening the second step involved in the agricultural practice are selection and sowing of seeds. The scattering seeds on the earth after soil is prepared for cultivation is termed as sowing. It is the most important part of agriculture because you wear what? Before sowing the seed, you should see the seed whether or healthy, whether you are choosing a good quality seeds or the seeds are healthy and seeds are viable. The viable is like what? It can able to produce it. The plant can't grow without seeds. The type of seeds sown decides the quality of crop that should come out of it. So how can you know whether the seeds are healthy? Because you can see under the experiment, you can do this activity at home also. You just take some of the seeds and put in water. What happened? If the seeds were unhealthy, what happened? The seeds will be float on the water surface. So you can there itself you can assume whether the seed is healthy or unhealthy. Once the ploughing procedure is started, and next step will be like watering. So watering is the process of giving water to the field to make the dry soil wet before ploughing. It is needed only if the soil is too dry. Ploughing directly on the dry soil is difficult, hence water to wet the soil. Once watered, bigger crumbs of soil are broken down into smaller pieces. So this process is termed as puddling. Puddling reduces permeability and percolation of losses. The more permeable the soil is, the greater is seepage. Permeability is directly proportional to particle size. Therefore, puddling reduces the particle size, which therefore reduces the permeability. So when you're watering the soil, what happened? The soil should have the right amount of water. Why? Because the soil accept the water to held in the process like germination. You just think, if you put over excess of water in the soil, what happens? Maybe the seeds get decayed. Okay, or else you just think in another side, if your seeds will not germinate in the dry soil. If you're not putting water, what happens? The soil will become very dry. So definitely there will be seeds will be developed on the dry soils. So the right amount of water should be maintained. Next step is you should plant a plant at the right distance, okay, from each other. See, if you are planting the plant with very close distance, what happened? So there will be the lack of sunlight, water and nutrient. So you just promote the development to ensure the growth. For that, you should be develop the seed should be planted at the right distance from each other. Here you can see seed drill. Okay, so why we need this seed drill? Because manual sowing of seed involves time and labor. Equipment like seed drill helps in sowing seeds using a tractor. Some advantages of using a seed drill are: sow seeds at uniform distance, protect seeds from being eaten by birds, save time and save human labor. So these are the advantage we are using with the seed drill. Here you can see the seed drill. Some of the seeds you can directly sow into the field, but sometimes the plant like tomato, onion, chili, rice and brinjal, they need like a nursery. It means the seeds are planted in a seed bed called a nursery. So once you were sowing the seed on the pot or whatever, okay, so you should plant first. The seed should be germinate. After they germinate, you can able to grow in a certain height, and after that you can shift that nursery plant to the field. Okay, so this process is called transplantation. Here you can see growing seeds in a nursery and shifting seedling to the field is called transplantation. This helps the farmer to select healthy seedling and space them properly while planting them. So transplantation also results in increased crop yield.